Greetings and welcome to my channel. My name is Ignatius and this is Sandustry. This series is going to be a bit different. I have already recorded the whole thing silently, or rather just with game sound, without my speaking over it, and I'm going to now watch this video with you, but I'm going to do so in a 4x speed. This is an experiment. I hope this works. And if not, then not. We shall see. So, I started the game. I thought Sandwich is a good name for this world. Here comes the mission brief. To be honest, I can't imagine this not working. The 4x speed kind of adds a bit of comedy, which is the point of the whole thing. Here I went through the tutorial, just made some wet sand. Now I'm shaking wet sand to make gold and to get some research done. Then in the first, in the number 1, I have the tools that the character uses, and number 2 and on I have the construction stuff. So, more shaking. Here I decided to change things around a little bit to make an automated, bigger system for automated shaking. I moved the mouse really carefully. Because of the shaking. Here the tutorial construction interfered with my own. But that's no big issue. Okay, tutorial is over. And I delete everything again to construct the beginning of the factory. The idea was to bring everything in from the top. Here I cleaned the area beneath the conveyor, and yes, continued. The hover, once you have the hover unlocked, it makes you able to phase through all the things you've built. And here I understood that the original idea was not going to work. And I just dumped everything to the side currently. Okay, this is the gold belt. I knew, of course, this is not the first time I've played this game. I have actually that was me trying to delete but misclicking all the time. I have finished this game before, or the current state of this game. therefore, of course, I knew what was going to come, and I knew that I was going to need a big, I call this my wallet. In this game you produce a lot of gold. And with that I mean a lot of gold. The game is strictly two-dimensional, so making conveyor bridges and stuff, like in Captain of Industry for example, just isn't going to happen. So you have to plan around that, and it is possible, fortunately. In this case, I did so by doing a bit of clever construction, if I do say so myself. All the gold stuff goes down to the bottom. Let me pause real quick. To this bottom conveyor, and then is going to be filled into the wallet, and everything else happens above, as you can see here. Thanks to those lifts, I can do that. It's essentially well, you can't see my mouse cursor. It's a up and down. Stuff comes in, is being brought up, and then being processed down, and then the processed materials are being brought up again, processed down and up and down and up and down. As you saw in the episode 0, there wasn't a whole lot of movement there. Yes, exactly. I wrapped the intake of dirt around the wallet. That was going to cause me a small amount of problems, a small amount issue later on, but only small, which was solved without too many issues. Okay, here I cleaned away all the residue to have that out of the way, because the residue swims on water. It doesn't go in and is therefore going to be in the way. Here I made, this is the primary water container that I usually use. Also with different seeds, I have seen that these top layer things, they are always appear to be the same, but in the bottom layer, that's where things change. The last time I played this through, the bottom layer was very, very different from what it is in this playthrough. I did dig down here, confidently knowing that below here is everything that I need. However, I was going to find out that that was not necessarily the case, because the bottom layer is in fact a little bit different, or rather very different. Here I noticed and understood that the conveyor was just a little bit too low. For the moment I made it work. Here you can see the shaking and the industrial level shaking and production of gold and residue, which is the first resource beyond dirt that you're going to work with. Also, that's much of the first hour or two of the game. You dig and dig and dig and dig. Here I checked if everything's alright and working as planned, which it does. Here I made the extended bucket, because of course I'm going to need to fill more water into this bucket, but that's going to be, I believe, the next video. I have to confess, I like this format. hope you do too. Because I was able to do all the thinking where the game's concerned while playing the game. Here I understood that the conveyor needs to go down a little bit. And I just did the simplest solution with this little step there. It works fine. Here we see I've made a whole lot of residue. Here I saw the 2 little bits of gold. Which of course have no place being inside of the residue. Here I thought to myself that little knob, well, it didn't look right, and dropping that stuff through the conveyor down before sending it up also didn't feel right. Here I was thinking about that little knob that I just built, and now I'm making a bigger one. And I'm also changing things around here because I didn't like having this little empty area beneath the conveyor. Now this looks fine. It also works fine. Okay, now I was just trying to see when the video would end. This is one of the last images. Okay. So, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, you know the drill if you so choose, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.